The trade that we've kind of been waiting for has finally happened. Jahlil Okafor has been traded from the 76ers to the Brooklyn Nets. Honestly, I wonder if 76ers fans... you can tell me in the comments whether you thought he should have gotten more, they should have gotten less. Let me know what you think in the comments, but honestly, I think this was pretty decent for the Philadelphia 76ers for two reasons, and I actually really like this for the Brooklyn Nets as well. It's, you know, with these trades that happen, it usually has to be good for both sides, and you can kind of see the good from both sides. Let's first talk about the Brooklyn Nets and what they get. So in the trade for Jahlil Okafor, they get Jahlil Okafor and Nick Stauskas, and they're trading Trevor Booker to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Nets also get a 2019 second-round pick from, and I believe that's the New York Knicks pick. Pretty good haul for the Brooklyn Nets. I really like what the Brooklyn Nets are doing, considering everything that has gone wrong with that franchise from Billy King when he made some of the most... I mean, he mortgaged the future of that franchise in maybe the worst. I don't know if there's another team that mortgaged their future worse than Billy King did with the Nets, that they're still to this day just paying for that Garnett trade, who's retired now. Insane what happened with that trade. But anyways, what I like about the Brooklyn Nets is they're going out and they're getting top 10 pick type talent that kind of underperformed in other areas. So you've got, they traded for D'Angelo Russell, who for whatever reason, he has a storied history with the Lakers, but they got D'Angelo Russell from the Lakers, who in Lakers fans' eyes is underperforming. Maybe now that they've got Lonzo Ball, whose shooting is not quite what they would hope it would be, maybe they're kind of regretting that, and the Nets kind of took advantage. And I know that D'Angelo Russell's been injured this year, but he's been a nice player for them. He's shown his talent that he showed in college, and that he can be a legitimate scorer in the NBA. I don't know if he can play defense, but he can at least score, which is a talent. And that's something the Nets, that's a strong move by the Nets to get that pick that they didn't have, to get top 10 talent without a pick. They're doing the same thing here. They got Jahlil Okafor and Nick Stauskas, who have underperformed in their careers in the NBA, and maybe just another change of scenery will help them, especially Jahlil Okafor. Nick Stauskas, we might know what he is. He's had 2 different stops. He had problems in Sacramento with Boogie Cousins, and goes to Philadelphia and hasn't performed as much as you'd hope. Jahlil Okafor can't find a way onto the court, and part of that is just the Joel Embiid, how good he is. He's a superstar. Whether Jahlil Okafor gets on the court or not is, he's not going to get on the court with Embiid playing as well as he is and how good he is. So it's just a tough situation for Okafor, who, in all honesty, has a game that for now seems like it's only suited for 10 years ago, where you just throw it in, kind of like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar type game where you throw it in and let him operate. But honestly, the back to the basket game and the hook shot stuff is just not that efficient. And so it'll be interesting to see Okafor getting a new spot with the Brooklyn Nets, get some really good coaching, because they have good coaching in Brooklyn. They have a good coach. They have a good general manager who's honestly doing a lot of good things for a team that's been just between a rock and a hard place. So nice move for the Brooklyn Nets to just, let's take a chance on this guy, because it doesn't really matter anyway. They don't get a pick. It's going to whoever Cleveland trades it to, or if Cleveland just uses that Brooklyn pick. So I kind of like this move for Brooklyn to just try. Maybe you can do something with Okafor and kind of mold him into something more than just kind of a low post scorer. And so it'll be fun to watch. D'Angelo Russell, Jahlil Okafor, got some young pieces on that team. Hollis Jefferson. The Nets are a fun, interesting team. I don't know how good they are, but they're interesting. Now for the 76ers. Honestly, and maybe 76ers fans are angry, I'm actually really curious what you think about this trade. But if you have not followed Trevor Booker, if you have not had him on your team, this guy is a blast. You are going to love Trevor Booker. He is an amazing locker room presence. This guy is he will fight for the players on your team. He played for the Jazz for 2 years, and so that's how I know him. He was just... Anytime a player has some sort of scuffle with some other player, Trevor Booker is the first one there to defend his team. He fights every rebound. He brings it every night. You're going to love this guy. Is he the most talented guy in the world? No. Is he undersized? Yes. He's like 6'6", but he brings the fire and the intensity and the personality. His personality is amazing, and it's going to be interesting and fun to see him with Joel Embiid. Those guys are going to love each other, I promise you. So Trevor Booker comes and just kind of bolsters that locker room, and he's going to be a great presence. I honestly think that's a great pickup for the 76ers. You've got a role player that can step in and play whenever you need him to. He's a great character guy, so he's not going to whine if he's not getting minutes. He's not going to cause you problems. If anything, he makes everything better. He improves that locker room when things are not going very well. So he's a really great guy to have on your team. And the second reason I like this for Philadelphia, and this should be exciting for Philadelphia fans, is when you see a trade like this where you kind of lose those assets and you bring a guy back like Booker, who I think has a relatively small contract. I don't think it's more than $8 million a year. I'd have to look at it to make sure. But the 76ers are planning for next offseason. And we've heard rumblings that they're going after LeBron James. Now, every team will call LeBron James and see if they can get them. Whether you're the Jazz, the Suns, the Timberwolves, or the Sixers, or the Cavs, or whoever, they're all calling LeBron James. He's the best player in the league. But the Sixers have a legit sales pitch that could bring someone of that caliber to the Sixers. It's exciting for Sixers fans. You guys have the pieces to be really good. You have Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Dario Saric is a nice player. Covington is a great role player as a spot-up shooter. JJ Redick comes off the books after this year, and that's probably the interesting thing with this, is that they've cleared Okafor, cleared Stauskas. Next year Redick comes off the books. You've got space to do something. You can sign somebody, and we'll see if they do it just straight up in free agency, which what happens when you do that is you go from just a great team to a championship level team. If you can get someone for nothing, like bringing a Gordon Hayward to Boston, you get him for nothing. That's where teams go to the next level. And so if the 76ers next offseason, this is kind of a future forward-thinking move for them to just get ready for that offseason, because I don't know if they're going to re-sign Redick. Maybe they're thinking whatever production Redick does, we can bring in someone that replaces that plus more. So it'll be kind of fascinating to see what the 76ers do now, because they've got a lot of great pieces. They're gelling very well. I love the 76ers pieces. You guys, the 76ers are going to be very good now for years and years and years. Health, just as long as they can stay healthy, as long as Embiid can stay healthy. Ben Simmons, I mean, for the rest of his career, Embiid might just play limited in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, that's when you really play him a lot. And Ben Simmons is so good that you might not need to worry about it. And the East is so weak at times that you can get away with resting Embiid. So the 76ers just kind of have a perfect situation. Sam Hinkie's process worked, and now you guys are seeing the proof of it. All right, guys, make sure to like and subscribe below. Talk to you later.